2/3 of Americans say it's not worth fighting.
So?
Do you think that the U.S. or UN forces should have moved into Baghdad?
No.
He has not developed any significant capability with respect to weapons of mass destruction.
So, you don't care what the American people think?
No, I think you cannot be blown off course.
We are able to keep arms from him. His military forces have not been rebuilt.
Mr. Secretary, what exactly was the connection between Saddam Hussein and Al-Qaeda?
I tell you, I'm not going to answer the question.
Why not?
With all due respect, I think if you look back at the key judgments of the intelligence estimate about Iraq's weapons of mass destruction, you will see that those judgments supported the views of many intelligence agencies worldwide.
Because if we'd gone to Baghdad, we would have been all alone. There wouldn't have been anybody else with us. It would have been a U.S. occupation of Iraq. None of the Arab forces that were willing to fight with us in Kuwait were willing to invade Iraq. Once you got to Iraq and took it over, and took down Saddam Hussein's government, then what are you going to put in its place?
There are no knowns. There are things we know that we know. There are no unknowns. That is to say, there are things that we now know we don't know.
We do have solid evidence of the presence in Iraq of Al-Qaeda members.
It just doesn't hold water as far as I'm concerned.
He went to war over a threat from a bloody tyrant in the most volatile region of the world who had used weapons of mass destruction before and was continuing to try to acquire them.
You know, I've heard this theory about, everything was just fine until we arrived, and, kind of the stir up the hornet's nest theory.
To my knowledge, I have not seen any strong, hard evidence that links the two.
Every statement I make today is backed up by sources, solid sources. These are not assertions. What we're giving you are facts and conclusions based on solid intelligence.
The terrorists attacked us and killed 3,000 of our citizens before we started the freedom agenda in the Middle East. They were... What did Iraq have to do with what? Nothing. The security of the world requires disarming Saddam Hussein now. 500 tons of sarin, mustard, and VX nerve agents, significant quantities of uranium from Africa, mobile biological weapons labs. Saddam Hussein aids and protects terrorists, including members of Al-Qaeda. There are some who feel like that, the conditions are such that they can attack us there. My answer is bring them on.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom.
I don't oppose war in all circumstances, and when I look out over this crowd today, I know there is no shortage of patriots or patriotism. What I do oppose is a dumb war.
Speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be.
Like Moses, they challenged Pharaoh.
Let it be.
The princes,
whisper words
powers
of wisdom.
Who said that some are at top and others are at the bottom. And that's how it's always going to be.
This is not a sectional issue. Difficulties over segregation and discrimination exist in every city, in every state of the Union.
It was a creed written into the founding documents. Declared the destiny of a nation.
There is still a chance that
they were whispered by slaves and abolitionists.
Producing in many cities a rising tide of discontent threatens the public safety. It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets. And new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.
It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballot, president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land. Yes, we can to justice and equality.
I chose to run for president at this moment in history because I believe deeply that we cannot solve the challenges of our time unless we solve them together, unless we perfect our union by understanding that we may have different stories, but we hold common hopes. We may not look the same and may not have come from the same place, but we all want to move in the same direction.
E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Now, even as we speak, there are those who are preparing to divide us. Spin masters, negative ad peddlers, who embrace the politics of anything goes. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America.